And my big question is, because I follow politics inside out, isn't Ohio one of those swing states that where Ohio goes, the rest of the country goes? Last time I looked, that was the case. But I can just imagine when election time comes, they all gonna be buzzing around Ohio and doing their rallies and their speeches in Ohio. I hope the people of Ohio never forget this. Never forget how they were treated during this disaster. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So, guess what I saw? I saw Biden in Ukraine, Tony Blinken in Turkey, all my politicians all over Europe minding everybody's business except their own. Can you imagine? Biden went to Ukraine and not to Ohio. The US gave $60 billion to Ukraine and their plights and $0 to Ohio after that big, horrific environmental disaster. Is it just me, or is the whole world gone crazy? Guys, same thing with our politicians in Europe. Our own people are suffering and they keep pumping money into Ukraine and now into Turkey, up to billions of dollars for other countries to secure other countries' borders, to protect the sovereignty of other countries. And they leave their own people, their own country, their borders wide open. Our borders are wide open. Our people have nowhere to live, can't afford groceries, and they continue to pour money into other countries non-stop. I mean, they say it themselves. The support that they're going to give Ukraine is unwavering and non-stop. They will not stop supporting Ukraine in this war effort. Look, this you can't make this stuff up. We have a big problem in the north of our country, in the north of the Netherlands, in a city called Groningen. They have a really big problem with earthquakes, and the earthquakes are due to the fracking in that area. They're digging in the ground for oil. The houses in Groningen, most of the houses have big cracks up the wall. Most of the houses are unlivable. People have been begging the government for years to please stop the fracking, fix our homes, buy out our homes and give us other homes. This is an ongoing situation. And nobody is doing anything. The government is not doing anything for those people. But then there's a big earthquake in Turkey and Syria, and within a week the Netherlands has raised over 100 million euros for the people in Turkey. Our government has pledged money for the people in Turkey, for the earthquake in Turkey, while our own people have been suffering, dreadfully suffering for years. Their houses being destroyed because of these fracking earthquakes, and nothing is being done. What have we become when our own governments don't help us anymore? They don't care anymore. I'm not saying that we shouldn't care for another country and another people's problems. That's not what I'm saying here. So don't jump in the comments and jump on me and say things like that. That's not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make here is we elect these people and give them a mandate for our national interest, and nothing is being done for our national people. But they take our tax money and send it everywhere while we have nothing. They simply do not care anymore, and they're not even hiding that they don't care about us anymore. I mean, it's plain to see. Just turn on the news. People in Ohio have nothing. They're suffering. They're being told everything is okay, that everything is environmentally okay. But last year, when there was an inkling that some bombs would be falling close to a nuclear facility in Ukraine, the whole world was in an uproar. The UN sent people there, and I'm sure you remember, nothing even happened to that facility, and they were just like everybody buzzing, how it's a potential environmental disaster and the whole 9 yards. While we do have an environmental disaster and the world is quiet on it. If you can make sense out of it, leave it in the comments because I really can't make sense out of it. If you remember one of the last hurricanes that hit the United States, and Kamala Harris, which is the vice president of the US, came on the television and said that the federal government distributes funds for these, the federal government distributes funds for these kind of disasters according to equity in the community. So I say that to say they have rules in America, in the federal government, how they distribute national funds for national disasters. When it comes to distributing funds abroad, it's just like, here, take. But with my own people, I have to mete out the funds according to certain rules and regulations. It's like, and it's not only in America I'm talking about. This shit happens in my country as well. When it comes to your own people, you have to go through a whole big bureaucracy to get help from your own government. But international funds for other countries, when other countries have their own problems, we just grab a bag of money, and it doesn't matter whose hand the money lands in, because most often it's going to corrupt governments. They don't care. They just send money. But with us, we have to go through a whole bunch of hoops. How crazy is that? But you see, like I say, it's all about what is advantageous to them, to the narrative that they want to spin. Because here we have a real environmental disaster. Something has actually happened in Ohio. I mean, you see those air footage looking down on that wreck, that mess, that cleanup, that it's horrific. We have a real disaster on our hands, and zero attention is being paid to that. The UN isn't sending people in. There's no teams going over there. There's zero federal dollars going over there. The EPA has told the company to clean up their own mess. You understand? So, like I say, you cannot make this stuff up. And people just sit back and say nothing. They do nothing. If you can make sense out of it, leave it in the comments because I really can't make sense out of it. Guys, pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on around us and how little our government cares for us and how little they care to even show that they don't care for us. Guys, see you in my next vlog. Cheers.